Alexandra Eala enters crucial stage of her career which could impact her at Grand Slams. Alexandra Eala's hopes of making a deep run at the Qatar Open were quickly snuffed out by Teresa Valentova on Monday. Eala, the new world number 40, was defeated 7-6, 6-1 by the talented Czech youngster, who offered her thoughts on Eala's fans after the contest. For Eala, the loss on the Qatar Open center court makes little difference in terms of her WTA ranking. She is currently set to fall 3 places to world number 43 following first-round wins for Diana Yastremska and Lee and Valentova. However, the young star is now entering the most important part of her season. Eala has a high amount of WTA points to defend in the next month, and if she fails to reproduce her 2025 form, she could suffer a significant rankings fall. Alexandra Eala's crucial few weeks on the WTA Tour. Alex Eala first introduced herself to the global tennis audience when she defeated Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys and Jelena Ostapenko on her way to the 2025 Miami Open semifinals. As a result, Eala won 390 WTA ranking points, which she will need to defend at the 2026 event. Eala is currently on 1,244 points. If she were to lose in the Miami Open first round, her total would fall to 844 points. If that scenario were to happen, Eala would likely fall out of the world's top 75 players, significantly hampering her chances of qualifying for WTA 1000 events and damaging her hopes of becoming a seeded player at Grand Slam events at some point this year. Eala has the momentum. She is one of the most popular figures on the WTA Tour and has shown glimpses of superstar potential throughout the past year on tour. However, at recent tournaments, Eala has not performed at a level that would see her reach the semi-finals in Miami once again. That being said, Eala is capable of playing at a top 10 level when in her best form, and if she can find a spark in Miami for the second consecutive year, she could most certainly defend her Miami Open points and prevent a significant rankings drop. Round. Opponent. Score. First round. Katie Volinets. 6-3. 7-6. Second round. Jelena Ostapenko. 7-6. 7-5. Third round. Madison Keys. 6-4. 6-2. Fourth round. Paula Badosa. Walkover. Quarter-finals. Iga Swiatek. 6-2. 7-5. Semi-finals. Jessica Pegula. 6-7. 7-5, 3-6. Alexandra Eala's 2025 Miami Open. Alex Eala's Filipino message to fans. After losing to Valentova in Qatar, Eala posted a comment on her Instagram story, translated from Filipino, paying tribute to her countrymen. She said, "Thank you, my countrymen. We lost today, but the fight continues. We'll be back next time." Eala is far from the only big name to exit the Qatar Open in the first 2 days. On Tuesday, Coco Gauff was stunned in her opening match by Elisabetta Cacciaretto, and has now failed to win a match at the tournament in 3 years. However, many big names have advanced to the round of 16. Elena Rybakina, Iga Swiatek and Alina Svitolina all secured second-round victories on Tuesday. Alexandra Eala enters a crucial stage of her career that could shape her Grand Slam destiny. There comes a moment in every athlete's journey when promise must begin transforming into permanence. For Alexandra Eala, that moment is no longer somewhere in the distance. It is here. The Filipina trailblazer, once known primarily as a prodigy with a fearless lefty forehand and a Grand Slam junior title to her name, now stands at a pivotal crossroads in her professional career. The early chapters have been about potential. The next ones will be about proof. And what happens in this crucial stretch could echo loudly on the sport's biggest stages, the Grand Slams. From prospect to professional reality, Eala's rise has never been accidental. Trained at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy, armed with discipline beyond her years, and fueled by a nation's expectations, she built her foundation brick by brick. Junior success placed her on the global tennis map. But the WTA Tour is a different universe. Faster, stronger, and unforgiving. Now, she is navigating the delicate transition from rising star to consistent tour contender. This phase is critical. Rankings fluctuate. Confidence can swing match by match. Margins between victory and defeat narrow to a few points in a tiebreak. At this level, talent alone is not enough. Emotional resilience, physical durability, and tactical maturity become decisive factors. How Eala manages this stretch will directly influence how she performs at Grand Slams, where best-of-3 battles become wars of nerve and endurance. The weight of expectations. For many players, pressure comes from within. For Eala, it also comes from an entire nation. As one of the most visible faces of Philippine tennis, every win sparks celebration. Every loss invites scrutiny. That spotlight can either harden a competitor or slowly drain her. Grand Slams amplify that pressure tenfold. The difference between early exits and deep runs at majors often lies in handling expectation. Players must manage the noise, media buzz, social media chatter, comparisons to legends, while staying rooted in their routines. This stage of Eala's career is teaching her that lesson in real time. Tough losses, like narrow defeats against higher-ranked opponents, can sting, but they also reveal gaps in serve consistency, in point construction, in handling momentum shifts. Addressing those gaps now is essential if she is to thrive under the brighter lights of Melbourne, Paris, London, and New York. The physical demands of the big stage. Another defining factor in this critical phase is physical development. Grand Slams are marathons disguised as tournaments. 7 matches in 2 weeks. Recovery windows shrink. Opponents grow tougher with each round. The ability to maintain intensity across multiple long matches separates contenders from hopefuls. Eala's game already carries creative variety, sharp angles, intelligent court positioning, and a left-handed spin that disrupts rhythm. But sustaining that style against physically dominant opponents requires strength and stamina upgrades. This period of her career is about building that endurance base. If she strengthens her serve to earn more free points, improves first strike aggression, and maintains durability through long rallies, her ceiling at Grand Slams rises dramatically. The foundation she lays now will determine whether she merely participates in majors, or truly competes. Tactical evolution. The chessboard within the match. Young players often rely on instinct. Experienced champions rely on patterns. Eala is entering the stage where tactical intelligence must deepen. Reading opponents. Adjusting mid-match. Recognizing when to absorb pace versus when to accelerate. These are skills refined through high-level matches, especially tight ones. Grand Slam matches demand that flexibility. A player may dominate one set, then suddenly face resistance. The ability to pivot strategy, to switch from baseline exchanges to net approaches, or from heavy topspin to flatter drives, becomes essential. The current phase of Eala's journey is her classroom. Each encounter against seasoned tour professionals becomes a lesson in disguise. Win or lose, she gathers information. And information becomes power when stepping onto a slam court against top-seeded players. Ranking matters, but so does belief. In tennis, rankings determine entry, seedings, and matchups. A higher ranking can mean avoiding elite opponents in early rounds of Grand Slams, a crucial advantage. This stage of Eala's career is therefore numerically significant.